Hello everybody, and welcome to Tommageddon, a show where all different kinds of multimedia will meet their day of reckoning. I'm your host, Tom. It's time for another bad kung fu movie. Purchased at the same dollar store as Duel of the Tough, it's Death of a Ninja, a Japanese film released in 1984 by the Toei Company, also known as the Ninja War. It was directed by Mitsumasa Saito and based on the novel by Futaro Yamada. It features Sonny Chiba, uncredited, playing a bit part, even though the DVD cover makes a huge deal out of him being in this film. It stars Hiroyuki Sanada, an actor who would later go on to perform in the hit show Lost, and Noriko Watanabe, a Japanese pop star who would go on to marry Jurassic Park's Sam Neill. The movie is really strange. It's actually the film I was looking for when I rediscovered Dragon, so let's get into it. These DVDs don't even have menus. As soon as it starts up, it just plays the first movie, then the second one plays right after. Such quality, it's just superb. It opens up with a battle between two armies. Man, he's having a really shit day, isn't he? There's really no explanation for why these guys are fighting, and it never comes up again. It's just kind of like, hey, look, there's some samurai and shit. Did you think this was an important plot point? Like maybe it had some significance. Well, fuck you, it doesn't. We cut to a castle where Lord Matsunaga Danjo shows off his castle to Lord Miyoshi and his wife Ukyo. Danjo flirts with Ukyo, much to Miyoshi's chagrin, and then this guy, played by Sonny Chiba, tells them that the tea ceremony's about to start.
The most famous tea ceremony master, Senso Eki himself, will make the tea.
Here we get our first look at a major plot-important item, the Spider Tea Kettle. The English dub of this movie, much like Duel of the Tough, features voice actors who try matching their words to the characters' lip movements, and who for the most part deliver their lines like they've only just seen the script for the first time.
Do forgive my impertinence.
No second takes, huh? Had to rush that production! We see Lord Miyoshi and Ukyo on their way back home. Oh, sweet Jesus, my eyes! Oh, that's bright! Oh! Miyoshi tells the ghost of Ukyo here that Danjo is undeserving of a treasure like the Spider Tea Kettle, and also voices some displeasure with Danjo.
I tell you, that man, he is like a beast. He kept staring at you like you were a courtesan.
Suddenly, the sky grows dark and we cut back to the castle. Sonny Chiba's character, Shinzaemon,
What is it, Shinzaemon?
senses an evil presence, so he limp-wrists a knife towards the camera and draws his sword. He chops a door in half to reveal a strange man sitting behind it. This is
Kashin Koji.
He's some kind of wizard. The voice actor who plays him gave him what has to be the single most obnoxious voice I've had the misfortune of listening to. Just listen to this guy.
A tribute to the great master of the Yagyu clan, Shinzaemon.
Just listen to his laugh. I hate everything about this guy. He tells Danjo that
The future has been revealed to me. He who wins the heart of Lord Miyoshi's wife, Ukyo Dayu, will someday hold the world in his hands.
and he's chosen Danjo for some reason. It's never explained, so don't worry about it. Shinzaemon gets ready to strike Kashin down.
This man, Kashin, is as evil as the devil.
But Danjo tells him to stand down, so Shinzaemon decides to leave. Danjo asks Kashin what he has to do in order to seduce Ukyo and take over the world.
Just believe in my powers.
Kashin offers Danjo the services of 5 of his disciples, known as the Devil Monks, then instructs Danjo to win the heart of Ukyo with
An aphrodisiac. With an aphrodisiac.
Then he disappears. Now we jump to the forest for our first look at our main character, Jotaro. Not that one. He plays the flute while a young girl named Kaguribi cuts down bamboo by gently waving her hand around. She and Jotaro are in love, and while marriages amongst ninja are decided by the clan leader, he plans to go against tradition and marry Kaguribi anyway. Well, she's dead. That's how these movies always go. There's a love interest, she gets turbo-murdered, thus causing the hero to go on a quest for vengeance. Oh, hey look, literally 2 minutes later, she's kidnapped by the devil monks. One of them squares off against Jotaro and... Okay? We can't have a cool fight scene or anything. Nah, just this Ron Jeremy-looking motherfucker projectile vomiting chunky green shit all over the place. Jotaro gets hit and his face melts, but of course, he has plot armor. Horses approach, causing the monk to run. Shinzaemon and some of his men arrive, discovering Jotaro's body. It turns out Jotaro only pretended to be dead to fool his opponent. The monks bring Kagurimi back to Danjo, and this is where shit gets weird! To make the
secret aphrodisiac
to use on Ukyo, they need to use the tears shed by
pure and untarnished virgin, and also a blood relative of Ukyo Dayu. And we must have the tears that will drop from her eyes while we seduce her.
Did I grab the wrong movie? A minute ago it was all world domination, priests with superpowers. Now they're talking about monk gangbangs. Stop the ride! I want off this one. Though honestly, this would explain the production values. Kagurimi wakes up and the monks...
And become a woman seduced by all of us!
Kagurimi jumps out the window to escape, but she's caught and brought back, so she does the only reasonable thing she can think of. Cuts off her own head! Danjo understandably freaks out a bit here, so to calm him down, the devil monks cut off his wife's head. Nice and relaxing. But just in case that doesn't work, they kick him down a flight of stairs. By the time he returns, they've swapped the women's heads. Well, that just happened. Why, though? What was the point? What even the fuck is going on? I guess the one with Kagurimi's head is now named...
Lady Hellfire!
And she's evil and stuff. Dunno why, just go with it, I guess. Also, Kagurimi is Ukyo's twin sister because fucking reasons. We cut to Jotaro running around in the fog, calling out for Kagurimi.
Kagurimi!
He runs into the woman with Kagurimi's body and Danjo's wife's head, but it's okay, because she's totally got all of Kagurimi's memories. That's not how any of this works. But I guess according to this movie's logic, the brain is stored in the torso. She reveals that she was seduced by the monks, but she's escaped, bringing the spider tea kettle with her, because apparently the spider kettle is needed to cook the aphrodisiac. Jotaro tells Kagurimi,
Danjo and the 5 devil monks, I'll send them to the depths of hell.
And that he'll take care of her sister. The devil monks find them while they're talking. Kagurimi gets hit in the chest with a sickle. She dies and... Oh, hang on a sec. Can you hear the phone ringing? Because I fucking called it! Jotaro battles the monks, catching one with a trap he set and beheading him. But he's fine, because that one monk specializes in reattaching heads, I guess. And as long as he's alive, the monks are immortal. Jotaro's defeated by a monk who throws needles and escapes by dropping a smoke bomb. Next we see him being carried on a stretcher by a team of ninjas back to the leader of his clan. The ninja master heals him, but he's displeased with Jotaro's decision to marry Kagurimi secretly and kicks Jotaro out of the ninja clan. He tells Jotaro he should discard the spider tea kettle, but Jotaro refuses because...
Kagurimi was murdered because of this.
Meanwhile, Danjo learns of Jotaro and the fact that he's now got the magic kettle. He reveals that his plan had originally been to slip the aphrodisiac into Ukyo's tea at the huge tea ceremony at
Todaiji.
Lady Hellfire tells him that Jotaro will undoubtedly show up at the ceremony to protect Ukyo, because Kagurimi would have told him about her. Because apparently...
Some portion of her blood is causing Hellfire to sense something.
You bucket of bullshit!
One of the monks calls Danjo behind a pillar to tell him a secret, even though they're literally the only 2 people in the room, and Danjo just yells the secret out anyway.
By using the black art of mist casting?
We then cut to the ceremony at the temple. Do you like this really droning prayer song? I sure hope so, because we're going to be listening to it non-stop for the next 5 minutes. Lady Hellfire's blood-based senses are apparently spot on, because Jotaro's hiding up in the rafters near the top of the Buddha statue. He spots an army of torch-bearing monks charging towards the temple.
The black mist casting art.
The art of mystic casting is... It's just a bunch of dudes? Seriously? I mean, no one explains how casting's involved with this, they just show up and set the temple on fire. While the monk army battles soldiers outside, the devil monks try to kidnap Ukyo, but Jotaro grabs her hand and they run into the fire where the monks can't reach them. Outside, the evil, mystic casting monks retreat, and a maid tells Miyoshi that Ukyo must have died in the fire because she saw Jotaro drag her into it. The Buddha statue's head falls off dramatically, and we cut to a shot of the temple after the fire. Not much is left but some burnt timbers and the headless Buddha. Jotaro and Ukyo climb out of the wreckage completely unharmed because, I guess, ninja powers? They take shelter in the headless statue.
I must go and get medicine for your burns.
What burns? She looks fine! Meanwhile, Danjo's flipping his shit and cutting down his own retainers because he's also convinced Ukyo's dead, and that kind of throws a wrench into the whole prophecy thing. Lady Hellfire calms him down by assuring him,
Jotaro is a ninja.
and this means he and Ukyo are alive. Guess those blood senses are tingling again. We cut back to the Buddha statue where Jotaro hands Ukyo,
It's a new remedy to reduce fever.
because apparently that's what Jotaro meant by her being burned. Ukyo has apparently instantly fallen in love with Jotaro.
I want to stay with you, Jotaro, for the rest of my life.
And Jotaro tells her about his dead girlfriend, who happens to be her twin sister, and then recaps the plot for her off screen while the devil monks close in on their location. Ukyo resolves to return home and tell her husband everything, so her sister can be avenged.
That is the duty of an elder sister.
But they're twins! They're even played by the same actress! Up till now, Ukyo didn't even know Kaguribi existed, so I'm pretty sure there's no way she could know which of them was born first. Maybe Ukyo's the younger sister. Who the fuck knows? This movie doesn't like to explain things. I'm gonna stop harping on this, or we'll be here all day. They get a note saying that they've been discovered, so they make a getaway. When the monks arrive at the statue, they find them already gone. Of course, the blind one knows how to track by scent, so they catch up pretty quickly. As Jotaro prepares to fight, suddenly there's an explosion, and Jotaro and Ukyo are rescued by a group of masked horsemen. Jotaro asks the name of his rescuer,
I do not need a name.
but it's clearly Shinzaemon. Sonny Chiba has some really distinct eyebrows. He takes Ukyo back to her husband while Jotaro sets off to put an end to the devil monks.
Farewell, and do not die!
Ukyo tells Miyoshi everything that's happened, but
This man
I've heard enough. I think that your mind is totally confused.
jeez, Miyoshi's a real bag of dicks. You could be a little happier about finding out your wife didn't get barbecued. Because Jotaro has Danjo's spider tea kettle, he thinks Jotaro must have stolen it. He's not entirely wrong, but he seems to be lacking context. Then when Ukyo tells him Danjo is evil, Miyoshi just dismisses her, even though earlier he was the one complaining about Danjo. There's really no reason for Miyoshi to be such a bastard here, so I'm pretty sure this scene only exists to make us hate him and want Ukyo to get together with Jotaro. Her dumping her husband for a ninja she's only known for 5 minutes would seem totally unreasonable if Miyoshi were a good husband. Meanwhile, over at Danjo's castle, Kashin Koji butt slides out of the shadows and pins Danjo to a wall for no real explainable reason.
Release me! Kashin! 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 Hurry!
Kashin is really the worst offender when it comes to trying to match lines to lip movements. I'm gonna let this play for a minute, you'll see what I mean.
There is no need to be so hasty. Standing behind you are my specially trained ninja. The 5 devil monks. And also this woman, whom you know.
Out in the forest, 2 of the monks are going for a walk. Puke Monk and the Doctor.
I almost forgot you were a doctor.
See, the reason for this unnatural-sounding dialogue here is so Jotaro, who's hiding in the woods behind them, can learn the source of their immortality and kill the Doctor first.
Now you are no longer immortal!
He then drags the Puke Monk into a pond and battles him underwater, where his magic vomit is useless. Now, I can get behind a clever plan, but we don't get to see the fight. We just see the surface of the pond and people occasionally breaking the surface until the monk's body floats to the top. It's not exactly an action-packed thrill ride. After the fight, Jotaro is apparently captured by the other monks. Miyoshi tells Ukyo that Jotaro confessed to being the one who set fire in the temple, even though he could clearly see the monks hurling torches and flaming arrows along with hundreds of other witnesses. And he's invited over Danjo so he can return the kettle. And then it just jumps to Danjo yelling,
Ukyo Daiyu has disappeared?
Lady Hellfire at first offers to find Ukyo,
and I will find her without fail.
but then seems to remember that she's got the same face. She just says, hey, fuck that aphrodisiac plan we just spent an hour and 10 minutes of the movie's runtime on. She says she'll just stroll into Miyoshi's castle, take Ukyo's place, murder Miyoshi, and marry Danjo. Problem solved. She's even got a plan in case the real Ukyo shows up.
But what if Ukyo Dayu returns someday? It would present no problem. For she would be the imposter. And we would behead her.
The fuck was that? Does Lady Hellfire often feel the need to twirl to emphasize what she's saying? She sets off to Miyoshi's castle. Meanwhile, the real Ukyo sneaks into Danjo's castle disguised as Lady Hellfire to free Jotaro. But before they can escape, the blind monk blocks their path.
The real Lady Hellfire went to Kyoto disguised as you. And then you came here disguised as Lady Hellfire.
So he and Jotaro fight. He starts launching needles all over the place until Jotaro forces him to shoot himself in the neck. Doesn't really bring him down, though, because he stands up and... What the fuck? Jotaro avoids the attack and brings him down by stabbing him in the back of the neck with a small crystal cross Kagaribi used to wear. Jotaro causes a distraction by freeing all of the horses and rides off with Ukyo in the confusion, but another of the monks catches up with them as they make their escape. Apparently this one's superpower is that he's got super strength. Jotaro stabs out his eyes while they wrestle, so Strongman tosses him off a cliff. Then the camera pans out to show Strongman impaled on a tree at the foot of the cliff. How even the fuck? Jotaro passes out and Ukyo rushes to him. Next we see Jotaro waking up in a hut with Ukyo gone. Apparently,
The man dressed in black.
has decided to help them out again. Meanwhile, back at Miyoshi's castle,
And the theft of the famous spider tea kettle.
Forget it. Do not let it worry you. Here is the stolen spider tea kettle.
apparently Miyoshi's being possessed by Kashin Koji? Is this a thing? Is this why he's been acting like such a dick? If Kashin Koji could just do this shit in the first place, why the fuck didn't he?
I am Necromancer.
I have the Dharma. Book of Changes. It's from India.
Makes as much sense as anything else. We get a quick look at Jotaro as he rushes towards the castle, and the real Ukyo shows up. This apparently snaps Miyoshi out of whatever bizarre trance he's in, and we do the classic back and forth between Hellfire and Ukyo of, "Oh, I'm not the imposter, kill her! I swear I'm the real one, kill her!" Even though they both have very distinct sounding voices and should be identifiable on that alone. But apparently not to Miyoshi, because this breaks his psyche. Just as he's about to kill the real Ukyo, this other random woman mind controls him? You know what? I don't even know what's going on anymore. He kills Lady Hellfire, then has a mental breakdown, and then offs himself, leaving Danjo to assume control of his lands.
As of now, total control of the regime of the Miyoshi clan shall be assumed by Matsunaga Danjo himself!
His first order of business is to try and force-feed Ukyo the aphrodisiac, because apparently that's still around.
Break it! I said break it! I said break! Now, break it!
Before he manages it, Jotaro smashes through a wall and starts fighting the castle guards. This is the first real fight we see Jotaro get into, where the focus is on swordplay and not strange superpowers. It's actually pretty well choreographed and a lot of fun to watch. The final monk reveals himself and battles Jotaro with his weird boomerang sickle weapons, throwing them all over the place and forcing Jotaro to play keep away, until Jotaro manages to get the sickle stuck in a tree and behead the monk, who was apparently a woman. The one who mind-controlled Miyoshi. I don't know, this whole thing is a clusterfuck. While Jotaro dealt with the monk, apparently the man in black showed up and got Ukyo away from Danjo. He reveals himself to be
Shin-Saimon!
And stabs Danjo. As soon as Danjo dies, the sky goes dark and wind starts blowing, and it's apparently the work of Kashin Koji. Everyone flails around in the dark for a bit, and the camera work is so shitty you really can't tell what's going on, as Kashin Koji cackles in the background. Jotaro stabs himself in the hand. No clue why, because it's not like it helps matters at all. And he gets sucked away into the darkness, to a place where everything is on fire. Kashin Koji appears, taunts Jotaro, then reveals Ukyo, who's been crucified to a Christian-style cross. Then Kashin sets it on fire. Ukyo tells Jotaro she loves him, then he jumps onto the cross with her. They kiss and burn to cinders while Kashin repeats his bit about
He who wins the heart of Ukyo Dayo will someday hold the world in his hands.
Then it just cuts to a shot of them making out and standing on a pile of ash. What the fuck just happened? What even's going on? The movie just ends without explaining any of this fuckery. The DVD just starts the next movie. Are they dead? Are they alive? I mean, the prophecy's not exactly true if they're both dead, so like, what? This movie is a confusing mess. It's got monks with powers, an annoying wizard, people swapping heads, and more use of the word aphrodisiac than I've ever heard the entirety of my life up until now. Our main character falls in love with Kaguribi, then she dies, and he's just like, oh hey, at least she had a twin! Ukyo falls in love with Jotaro for pretty much zero reason. Her husband Miyoshi turns into the world's biggest asshole completely out of nowhere. And blood-based preternatural senses are bullshit. This movie was sold as a kung fu film, but since most of the fights are based around some kind of shitty power, they're slow and uninteresting. The two fights where people pull out swords and actually square up are pretty good. It's just a pity that they only happen at the very beginning of the film and at the very end. The ending scene is just... What the fuck happened? Jotaro and Ukyo are up on a cross on fire 1 second, then they're just standing around making out while credits roll. Did they survive? Was this their afterlife? I want some fucking answers! I guess this movie is based on a novel, so I suppose I'll have to go and read that now. The voice actors suck, obviously, though the film actors seem to be doing a really good job. They're expressive and they look invested in what's going on, so I imagine in the original Japanese, the film is much better and probably makes a lot more sense. Unfortunately, this DVD had no language options, nor options of any kind. I feel like this movie would have been better served as an anime film, as opposed to a live-action one, because the special effects for the various powers just aren't up to snuff. But if they had been animated, they could have been amazing. On a funny note, I spent most of this movie sitting there thinking, so this is basically a shittier version of the anime Basilisk. Which, in retrospect, makes all the sense in the world, because after doing some research, I found out the guy who wrote the novel that the movie is based on, Futaro Yamada, also wrote the manga Basilisk. Overall, I was fairly disappointed. It's a story about a young ninja taking on an evil wizard and a team of 5 monks with magical powers for the love of a beautiful princess and the fate of the world. It sounds epic! And yet the movie is slow-paced and kind of boring. My enjoyment of this film came from the balls-tastic voice acting and the absolute absurdity. It's worth at least one watch, but probably not a second. You know, now that I think about it, the prophecy, does that mean... Well, I've been Tom, and thanks for watching Tommageddon.